welcome to Straight to the Point. I'm here with Lori and Leslie. This last Saturday of the 23rd, we were at the March on the Arch in St. Louis. We had a blast, met a lot of people, had fun, and we had a few things we're going to talk about today.
We were crazy. It was crazy.
Yes.
There were so many people there, and I about died.
I think we all about died.
Walking shoes just weren't enough. I needed like a proxy. Come step in, walk for me. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
5 miles.
But
5
it
miles.
was fun, and it was for a great cause.
It was for a great
Yes, it
cause.
was.
It
Yes,
was,
it was.
and I'll be honest with you, it was really chilling to be standing there,
Right in front of.
of that building, knowing how many thousands of babies over the years since.
It started at what? He said 26,000.
Well,
25,000 it was recorded at one time when it opened up. It was in 1984. And then now we're down to 2,400
Yeah, that's
performed
awesome.
a year instead of
Last year.
25,000. Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
and I mean, it's just amazing how many thousands of babies have lost their life in that one building alone. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's a chilling feeling.
Yeah.
It was almost like looking the devil right square in the eye.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was.
truly.
Well, you know what? We had a voice for the voiceless that day,
Yeah.
and we'll
Yes.
continue to. So I think
There's a
that's
lot
amazing.
of people that showed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's a lot of people we met. I mean,
Yes.
that's what's so awesome. Like
Yeah.
some of the people that follow us
Yes.
and things like that showed up, which
they
was
actually
amazing.
came up to us because we
Yeah.
had our shirts on. We had our red shirts on, and they were like, "Oh,
And-
we follow you guys on
Yes.
Facebook.
There was one,
This is
Shay.
awesome."
And we were loud.
Oh, yeah.
Shay-
Couldn't really miss
Imagine
us.
that.
Couldn't miss us.
There's a shout out to Shay.
Yes.
She is from
And her husband.
Moberly,
remember your name.
Missouri. We met her.
Hey, Shay.
Yes, we met her at the Capitol a
Yes.
few weeks ago.
We call her our mega hat girl.
Yeah, we met her, and it was good to see you.
Yep.
Most definitely. Was
She
good to
shared
see
with
her.
us her testimony of how she walked away from being pro-choice and becoming pro-life, which was amazing. And they have a beautiful 8-year-old son.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
so,
share her story. She had tell her story.
So she was a
Leslie.
17-year-old, and she had gotten pregnant, and there was plenty of people that had told her, to abort it because she's young and whatever. But she just could not, even being pro-choice, even believing that abortion was okay. Once she was face to face with that decision herself, it seemed like that's what really caused her to say, you know what, I can't.
It's wrong.
I can't do it. And so
Very
the
pretty
result is she's got an amazing 8-year-old son. Her and her husband, that's amazing.
Yes.
I consider that personally as a success story.
story,
Yes.
So
Yes.
that I love hearing those things, because a lot of times they don't have the family to back them up, and 17 is very young. We have 17-year-olds, and I couldn't imagine becoming a grandma. No, not right now. But anyway, so she was a delight. Her husband was very sweet. We got to meet them, walk with them, and we also met another lady that I was acquaintance with on Facebook. I had joined a walk away because we really want to get involved with other people to kind of get their stories. And so met Alicia on Facebook. She contacted me telling us she was going to be at the March on the Arch. So we, of course, are coordinating, and we got to meet her as well, and she'll be on in another segment with one of your
It was
friends.
really
So-
cool is
with
to
Lisa.
see so many young people.
Oh,
There
they were
so
out in
many-
groves.
It wasn't just
Well,
the older people.
right.
It was, there was
Dr. Bob
so
Onder
many
was
young
there.
people there.
He
Yes.
was one of the guests, and he even commented how many young people, the
Yeah.
youth, were just there in droves.
Yeah.
The Life Crusaders, I have to say,
They were
do a
awesome.
shout out to
Yes,
them.
they were
out of
Absolutely.
Chicago.
Absolutely.
And they were fantastic.
They were
They
pumped
were
the whole
a-
entire time.
yeah, they were had
I
zest
mean,
for
the
life,
band was
let me
going
tell
the
ya.
entire
Gosh.
time. They walked 5 miles with all their band equipment, and they were
The
still hooting and
energy.
hollering.
And they were still cheering, and I'm sitting here going, I'm about to
The
die.
energy was just
were doing
unbelievable.
so good.
The atmosphere was
Yeah.
awesome.
It was.
It
was.
Really, really
And
was.
It was-
this
it-
generation, how many people, so many times we want to complain about this younger generation, and I was really proud.
Yeah.
That day I was
impressed
so
with that,
proud.
yeah, sure.
We had our younger generation there, our kids, and
Yep.
they were standing up and they were being a voice like they are, and it was just amazing to see
Right.
all the age variety that we had out there.
Actually, Lori put together a little video. You can actually go on our Facebook and you can see
Yes.
that of our journey that day.
Yeah, it
which
was
is really
great.
fun. And I think one of you two, well, I think all of us had a little bit to say to a quote one protester. There was only one protester along the way, which I was really kind of
The
surprised
lone
at.
wolf.
Yes, the lone wolf who had to come out on her balcony from
Yeah.
her apartment and yell and scream at all of us. But
Yeah.
that was okay. So
You know, all you can do is you can pray for those people and just tell them, you know, that God loves them. And,
yep.
you know, she was young, she just misunderstood. And you
Yes.
just hope and pray that if she's ever faced with a
Right.
situation like that, that
She'll
she
remember
is
the
like,
child she has because she did say she had one.
Right.
and she's like Shay. You know, something stops
Yep.
her and she realizes that, you know, the conviction hits her and she realizes that this is just not right. And
Right.
she
Right.
realizes that life is more precious than giving, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it, that baby a death sentence. Because
Exactly.
why
That's
is
what
it
it
that
is.
babies get the death sentence when it comes to an abortion? It's just, to me, I just don't understand that.
Why make
You know,
two victims? Even
it-
if there's one victim, why make two?
And
Right.
you know what else too? Tomorrow night, I don't know if this is going to air, before we go, but tomorrow night we're going to see the movie Unplanned at
Yes.
Ronnie's,
Yeah.
and we're bringing our tissues. We've seen
Absolutely.
some trailers on it, and
It's based on a true
And we've
story.
heard,
Yes.
we've heard.
and
yeah.
who was Abby?
Abby
Abby
Johnson,
Johnson.
yeah, she is. It's about her journey as
Her
a
personal experience,
director,
yeah.
as a
Yes.
director of a Planned Parenthood. She, you know, all she wanted to do was help women. She really, truly, she was pro-choice. She really thought she was
doing that, yeah.
doing the right thing and helping women. But then when she saw an actual baby born alive and struggling after an abortion, she realized that it just, you know, it just wasn't right.
And I think sometimes it just takes that connection. I think our generation, especially the younger generation, it's easier to pretend or be naive, because so many times you see that responsibility is not being taken. You can see that plain as day in our government
Yeah.
right now. So, that's the thing. I think once people start seeing and their eyes are opened, I think a lot of things are going to be changing. And I think her testimony alone is going to reach so many people. I think it's amazing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I just wanted to bring a few things, as far as facts, because I'm all about the facts here. But, here in Missouri, each state's different. Each state, as of right now, sets their own abortion laws and how they view abortion, and the abortion movement, as far as it was just like at the height, I want to say like in the 80s and the 90s, I mean, the pro-choice movement was like, I believe, at its highest. But the pro-life movement is really, really taking hold. And we're seeing more and more heartbeat
Yes.
bills. We're
Yes.
seeing more and more bans of abortion states taking hold of this.
Yes.
And our own state here in Missouri is doing just that. But as of right now, it stands that a woman, number one, has to have counseling before she can have an abortion. She has to wait 72 hours. And a woman can actually get an abortion at almost 22 weeks, which that's, to me, is just horrible.
Well, we have friends that actually have
a
had
baby.
children born
And they're-
at 21 and 22 weeks, and they're
Yeah.
fine.
And they're
Right.
healthy.
Well, and
They're
even
healthy now.
my daughter was born at 34 weeks, and I mean, she had less than 40%, survival, but she's perfectly healthy and doing fine
That's the
today.
thing. It's just, you can't. What's going to happen is going to happen. If the baby doesn't make it, then that's just, that is life.
But you
that's
can't
what
play
happens.
God.
But yeah, put yourself in
And
that
that's the thing,
position.
and that's the thing.
You know?
All doctors, I don't care what kind of doctor you are. I don't care if you're a chiropractor, if you're a
Right.
podiatrist, or who you are.
Exactly.
You don't play God. And
That's right.
and it says that in the Hippocratic Oath. You
That's right.
just don't play God. And here's the thing. We have a House Bill 126 right now that, thanks to Nick Schroer, he is the sponsor of this bill, and it is
Yes.
the Missouri Stands for the Unborn Act.
Yes.
Okay? And this bill would, for the most part, almost wipe out abortion as we know it.
Yes.
It's known as the Missouri's Heartbeat Bill, which would restrict any abortion after a heartbeat is detected, which is usually around 6 to 8 weeks. And how they find that is usually through a sonogram, you know, vaginally. A lot of
Internal.
times you can't find that with a normal ultrasound.
Right.
You have to do it through sonogram. And that's how they would change
an
the whole
internal.
aspect of it. In the event, if there is a heartbeat detected, there would be no abortion allowed. If the abortion is found that goes ahead and is performed, the doctor can go ahead and be criminally prosecuted.
That's right.
And it is a felony at that point.
Yes.
In the event, if Roe v. Wade is ever overturned, abortion would be banned totally as we
Yes.
know it
Yep.
in Missouri. And the only exception to this is in the case of a medical emergency determined by a licensed doctor. And that is hardly ever the case because, let's face it, there's
Exactly.
always a C-section that they can emergency go in there
Yep.
and take the baby.
Yes.
That's very true.
And be able to save the mother and
the
save
child.
the child, because I am a living proof of that. I had
am
what
as
was
well.
called, and I will just tell you quickly, I had what was called DIC, and at 34 weeks, I literally almost died having my daughter, and a proven case of that, they had to go in, they had to, you know, do a C-section on me to take my daughter, but she lived, I lived, we're perfectly fine today. But that's a prime case where they didn't just abort her to save
Right.
me, they saved her and they saved me.
Right. Well, I've had it on
So-
both ends where I was the baby that was 6 weeks early, and my mom had an emergency C-section. She didn't even get to hold me for 2 days after I was born.
Well, I didn't get
And
to hold
then-
my daughter.
Yeah, and then
for
I had my
either.
twins,
Yeah.
and they were emergency C-section, and they were born 5 weeks early.
Yeah.
And so, you know, twins already high risk,
Oh,
all
yeah,
that, you
right.
know.
Well, and I was high
But
risk.
they're great, you
Well,
know.
and that's the thing. I was already high risk before I had my son because I had had 2 miscarriages. I had lost twins when they were 6 months. So me even having one normal pregnancy with my son was unreal. And
Yeah.
then having my daughter, I was already high risk before I even had my daughter. So, and then after I had my daughter, I was told I could never have children again. So for me, this is a very, very passionate thing
Yeah,
for me.
absolutely.
Because when I see women that are just, I mean, I understand it is a hard, maybe a very difficult decision, but for me, I just can't understand why you would just disregard life like that when there are women like myself that have angel babies in heaven by no account of my own.
And there's countless women.
And there's
You know,
countless
so many
women that can't
people-
even have a
So
child.
many
Exactly.
people that would so willingly give that baby a home.
Right. And there's
So
exactly.
Robin
I'm
right
adopted.
here adopted a baby
At 12
because the
weeks.
mother couldn't take care of a child. You have adoptive parents right here that,
Yes.
I mean, I know, and I know another Christian woman, she actually has 2 adoptive children
You know,
that
yeah,
she
there
took
is-
into her home. There's
countless
countless
stories.
women
Yes, there
and
is.
countless stories of parents that have taken children into their home for
Yes.
whatever
Yep.
reason. So that's not an excuse of, you know, you hear that, oh, well, how many children are you going to take in? There's
Right.
plenty out there
That's
that,
right.
that people have taken in.
Yep. And I got a full house, and I'd still be.
I'd still
I'd
take-
still be willing to take some
Even
more.
at
I
my
mean,
old age, I would take another child.
And the last thing I'm going to leave you with, and these are stats that, you know, I was actually blown away with. This is statistics last year, and this is just something that I wanted to talk about real quick. In 2018, the number 1 leading cause of death worldwide was
Yeah.
abortion. So, in other words, the number 1 killer was women. Yep, you heard me right. It was women. I mean, come on. Who else is going to have an abortion? It's not going to be a guy.
That's right.
Okay? I mean, let's just get serious here.
Exactly.
Okay? And how many deaths were caused due to abortion? Try 42 million. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
worldwide, people.
yet they claim we need to start having more babies because
Oh.
we're not populating the earth enough.
But AOC
Like, what?
and all these other people are saying we need to stop because the world's going to end in 12 years.
Oh,
I mean, give me a
yes.
break.
It's a
And
whole
so-
other story, folks.
And just here alone in the U.S.,
Yeah.
881,000 babies died due to abortion. Over 330,000 were done at a Planned Parenthood facility. And I just want to say this: in 3 years' time, $1.5 billion of our tax money was given to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
How does that fit?
So
make
when you
guys
say,
feel?
when you say, well, it doesn't apply to you, you're not the one having it, it shouldn't concern you, it does.
It affects you very much.
I
so, because that's
personally
what you're
don't
paying
feel
for.
like having that blood on my hands.
No.
So,
Because the Bible clearly says God hates those that have innocent blood on their hands. And
Yep.
I personally don't want that blood on my hands.
nope.
At all. Okay?
Nope. So that day was the day we walked for those unborn, for the ones that didn't have a voice.
right.
You know, it was
We
near
are
and
their
dear
voice.
to all,
Yes.
to our hearts.
We are their voice.
And we
Yes.
won't stop being a voice.
No.
No.
Not until abortion is no longer in this state and this country, as we know
Absolutely.
it. We will just not stop. It's
If they
just-
threw as much energy into adoption and all the ways to help parents and things like that adopt, then they would just disregarding it. I think we would see a whole different country
Oh yeah,
come to light.
absolutely,
Is
absolutely.
how many countless doctors or firefighters or military people are we killing because they never even got to live.
Oh, I
So,
know.
and I thought it was really cool. A little bit, there were people there celebrating their birthdays, and it kind of choked me up because we were sitting there fighting for those kids who never got one.
Yeah,
And I just thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they got to stand there and they got to, you know, we sing happy birthday or whatever. And it was just really awesome to, you know, be able to celebrate with people that, you know, have lived so long and then also remember those that never even got to. So,
Yeah. So on
Go
that
see the
note-
movie Unplanned.
yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Bring your
Unplanned.
tissues.
Yeah,
I'm going to
We're
be a
gonna
mess.
we're gonna have a
We're
lot
doing
of
a private-
tissues. I think we're gonna need them for sure.
We're doing a private screening
Yes.
tomorrow night at Ronnie's, but it actually opens nationwide on Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
So on that note, make sure you check us out on Twitter, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Check us out on our website. It's www.s2tp.us.
Yes.
And if you like this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, comment below. Make sure you share.
Absolutely.
And we hope that we blessed you today, and we thank you for tuning in. Thanks so much. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.